Hey everybody, my name is Kenya and I am currently in my classroom. Welcome to Friday and the Furious 5. Alright, so today I'm going to be sharing with you 5 misconceptions about South Korea. Number 1, people usually think that Koreans are either Chinese or Japanese. They don't understand what Korean culture is. In fact, Korea has its very own culture, very unique. Although certain East Asian countries do share a lot of similarities, China was a huge influence on East Asian countries, and you can see remnants of that, what they influenced in South Korea and Japan, including things like rice. They use rice for so many different things, as well as the language, the Chinese characters. Korea has a history with that. In Japan, I believe they currently use about 100, maybe more, but at least 100 Chinese characters in their own language. So, number 1, Korea is its own country, culture, people. It is not. They are not Japanese or Chinese. Okay, people? Okay. Next, I have to write a list because I forget. Next, number 2 is they think Korea is this countrified underworld. I don't know. They think that they live in rice fields or something. And I know that's an exaggeration, but seriously, when I came here to teach, my family thought that I would be somewhere out in the woods teaching the kids in huts. So no, to counter that point, Korea is actually extremely modernized, They claim to have like the fastest, best internet in the world, but they are very technological. They have a lot of technology, things like that, that are pretty cool. Number three, let's see. The misconception of Korean brands. The misconception of Korean brands. So I think a lot of people do not know that Korean brands are often mistaken to be Japanese brands. For example, Hyundai, Kia, those are two car brands. Also Samsung and LG, things like that, they're all Korean brands. So that has helped the Korean economy to become this booming economy that it is today. Number four is, and listen carefully when I say this, South Korea, North Korea, not the same thing, It sounds crazy to some people, like, obviously it's not the same thing, but a lot of people get it confused. I had many friends and family when they were writing me or sending me gift packages, care packages, thank you very much for that, they would ask, so is it North or South Korea? Boo-boo. It has got to be South Korea for sure. And number 5, I'm going to call this a misconception because most East Asian cultures in general are looked upon as very conservative, particularly when it comes to sex. However, moving to Korea, there are multitudes upon multitudes of love motels. Okay, there are plenty love motels. It's like every other block, it feels like. In my neighborhood, there's definitely plenty of them, and in most places you go. And it's not discreet. They have big, huge signs that say love motels, and then they show like these pictures of what the rooms are supposed to look on the inside, and it's very romantic. I think the primary reason why there are so many love motels is because that's how they date in Korea. So you stay with your parents until you get married. You do not, when you become an adult, you do not get your own apartment and shack up with people. I'm sure there are some people who do, but primarily in the culture, you stay with your parents until you get married. So when people are dating, they go to the motel because she sale. They go there to rest, okay? That is what Koreans say. When they're out on a date, they say, oh, do you want to take a rest? Which I doubt they'll be resting if they're going to a love motel, but whatever. At love motels, they have you all hooked up. So they have like energy drinks, condoms, jacuzzis, all in one room. It's all very, very an interesting culture. I think love motels may have come from Japan. That was the first time I had ever heard what couples do. They don't have relations at their home. They go to a hotel or to another place to do it. So that was always, when I first heard that about Japan many years ago, I thought that was so strange. But now understanding the Korean culture, I know why Koreans do it. So, but the other side, it's not so pretty. They may not want you to know. They hook up like everybody else. People meet people when they're out kicking it at the clubs. They have clubs here. K-pop clubs, hip-hop clubs, techno clubs, different things. And they meet people, they get drunk, they go to the love motel. That's just how it is. But anyway, this is Friday and the Furious 5, and those are the 5 misconceptions about Korea. See you later. Deuces.